Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all be having a great week. Hope all be having a great Thursday. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, it is time for the... No. Hold on, Timothy and Bobby. I know what you were about to say. Not little bro, but Big Bro State versus the Indiana Hoosiers preview. It doesn't get too much better than this, folks. We got number 1 versus number 2. I've had so many of you guys asking me on Twitter and in the YouTube comment section, yo, Matt, who do you have in this game? And the one thing I've taken notice of, all the Ohio State fans out there, they've been feeling themselves and they think they're unbeatable. Now, I'm not saying I blame Ohio State fans because, to be honest with y'all, they do look unbeatable, but here's my proposal to y'all. Put your money where your mouth is. Check out Kalshi. It is the largest prediction market in the United States where you can trade on, guess what? All the sporting events going on this weekend. The best part about it is you are trading against real life people like yours truly, me. This is available in all 50 states. You can trade on everything. Outcomes, playoff chances, win totals, and even performances for players. I'll leave a link to the Kalshi app down below in the description of this video. I have some more great news. They have been kind and generous enough to give us a promo code. Use the link in the description and use promo code MattBeGreat to get $10 when you deposit $100. If you're anything like myself, you hate when things get too technical and they're complicated, well, the app, it is super simple to understand, and that's what I love. Yet again, the link is in the description, and use the promo code MattBeGreat to get you some extra cheddar, get you some extra doubloons. Getting back on track with the game itself, this is such a weird prediction video to make on championship weekend because more times than not, when you are previewing the SEC championship, the Big 12 championship, ACC championship, or in this case in this scenario, the Big 10 championship, both teams are not undefeated. You may have one undefeated team, that's normal, but not two. For example, with the Alabama and Georgia preview, you can point to, hey, Alabama's been shaky this year. They got 2 losses. On the flip side for Georgia, you can say, hey, they've been shaky as well too. They have 1 loss. But with Ohio State and Indiana, they haven't even been playing in close games this year like Alabama and Georgia. I mean, you want to talk about 2 completely different previews and games? Look no farther than the SEC championship and the Big 10 championship. Everybody looks at Alabama and go, oh yeah, they played so many close games, but Georgia has had 4 come-behind victories this year in the second half alone. And I'm not trying to knock Georgia or Alabama. There's nothing wrong with struggling and still walking out there with a win because if anything, that's a good argument. It means you got some resiliency about you. You're battle-tested. But for Ohio State and Indiana, can you really say they're battle-tested outside of maybe at max for both teams 1 to 2 games this year? The closest game for Ohio State this season was the first game of the year against Texas. And if you watch that game like myself, you know dang well that wasn't even a close ball game. And I mean that with all due respect. Ohio State dominated the Longhorns from start to finish. That game was never in doubt. Sure, Texas made it close to the end, but that game wasn't as close as the score indicates. Outside of that, it has been nothing but sunshine and rainbows for Big Bro State. This was an impressive win to me. They went into Washington's home stadium, who had the longest home winning streak in college football, and handled them like it was nothing. They then beat the crap out of Minnesota. They beat Illinois. Why is that important? Because I picked Illinois to pull off that upset. Don't want to talk about it. Destroyed Wisconsin, destroyed Penn State, destroyed Purdue, destroyed UCLA, annihilated Rutgers, and they handled Michigan. To say it's been easy pickings for Big Bro State might be understating it. It's been a walk in the park, and as a fan, it's been a stress-free regular season. As a Bama fan, I can't relate. On the flip side for the Indiana Hoosiers, I wouldn't say it's been as easy as it's been for Ohio State, but it hasn't been too difficult. I had a couple close games at Iowa. I mean, you can consider the Oregon one close, but not really to me. They're being by double digits at home, and Mendoza gifted them a pick 6. Most recently, you had the one with Penn State. They got fortunate to win that. Then they cruised against Wisconsin and Purdue. I think that's enough talk about how they got to this point. Let's talk about the matchup itself. I'm just going to come out and say it. Let's get all this out the way. Who has a much better team? Who has a more talented team? Duh, obviously, you know who I'm about to say next. Ohio State. I don't want to pander to you guys. I don't want to act like Indiana is as talented and as gifted as the Ohio State players because they are not. Does that mean Indiana can't win this game? Heck to a no. There's a reason we play the football games. Let me remind you, Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame. That wasn't 20 years ago. It was last year. I'm a diehard college football fan. I cover this, edit videos. I mean, it is my entire life, and I couldn't even name 5 Northern Illinois players right now. You know where Indiana's going to make up for the lack of talent compared to Ohio State? And quarterback play, and also how their players have been developed by their great head coach, Curt Cinetti. Shouting him. To say he's been doing a magnificent job would be severely understating it. Not that it matters, not that Cinetti's goal in life is to earn MattBeGreat's respect, some random dude in the man cave making YouTube videos. But I'm here to tell you, he has earned my respect. Not given, No. Earned it. He is a really good head coach. I can't put him in that great category, but I don't mind putting him in that really good category. And the one thing I love about him, it doesn't matter where he goes or where he's been. Look at his track history. He wins. You know what I'm about to say next, right? Winners win, losers lose. Signature quote and phrase on the channel. Been saying it ever since we started, 2015, 2016. It is a principle I live my life by. Winners win, losers lose. Somehow, some way, winners are always going to find a way to win, and vice versa. Somehow, some way in this life, losers are always going to find a way to lose. It's in their DNA. Cincinnati has the winning gene. When I looked at this Indiana team last year, I was like, yeah, they're having a decent season, but they don't have a top 25 win. It's a fluky Cinderella run. But then I saw what they did this year and what they're continuing to do. I was like, nope. This isn't a fluke. They're legit. It's similar to Vanderbilt. You know how Vanderbilt was decent last year? They upset Alabama, had a couple upsets, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, look at Vanderbilt. Good for the nerds. And then they bounce back this year, and they're even better. Same thing with Indiana. I can't harp on this enough. Everybody and their mom was going to point to, especially SEC fans. I get it. Well, look at who they're playing, Matt. They're playing bums in the Big Ten. Trust me. Nobody ridicules the Big Ten, the lower half of it, more than me, myself, and I. The bottom half of the Big Ten is awful. But with that being said, I think there's something to be said about taking care of business and winning all their games by 30 or 40 points. So I can sit up here for the next 10 minutes and rant and rave about Ohio State, how great they look, how they've dominated everybody. Well, so has Indiana. Everybody talks about Julian Sayin, but are we even certain that he's the best quarterback in this game? There's two Heisman contenders going at it, and some would argue and say that this is going to determine who wins the Heisman Trophy. I'm not mad about that. I haven't formulated my top 5 quite just yet, but I would say these guys are probably 1 and 2. It's 1A, 1B. Mendoza, Julian Sayin, whoever plays better, and whoever wins this game, they're going to be the front runner. I'm not really going to tell you who Jeremiah Smith is and Carnell Tate because, come on. If you don't know who those guys are, I can't help you out. Ohio State is similar to Alabama, wide receiver university. They have elite and supreme talent everywhere. But I'd say the unsung hero of this big bro state team is Bo Jackson. Man, he is unreal. Freshman, by the way. Freshman. Are you kidding me? You want to talk about a beast. Look no farther than him. But one of the more underrated players heading into this matchup is Omar Cooper Jr. Keep your eyes on him. He's going to be my X factor. I wouldn't say he's too far behind an individual like Carnell Tate, and I love Tate. So we've established that both teams, they have great skill position play. Wide receivers, running backs, and 2 quarterbacks competing for the Heisman Trophy. Fairly equal there. I think we can agree on that. But here's where I think the difference starts to kick in this ball game. The line of scrimmage. Ohio State won the national championship last year. Much respect and credit to them. That was a heck of a run, one of the best playoff runs you may ever see. But I'm here to tell you that this year's team is 2 times better than last year's team, and they are way more physical, and they're tougher. If you want to take that as me throwing shade at last year's team, I don't even mind it. I'm just here to tell you, last year's team, they weren't tough. This year's team is tough. I saw that Ohio State front 7 last year on both sides of the ball get pushed around in 5 or 6 different games. But this year's team, and it's why I'm so high on them, I haven't seen them get pushed around at all. And it's not even like, oh, they're just holding their ground. They are becoming the bully. You want to know why they destroyed Michigan this year? Because they took the approach of how Michigan beat them the last 4 years. Control the line of scrimmage. Dominate, dominate, dominate. That's what they did. That's what they've done all year long. Why has it been so easy for Julian Sayin this year? Why does it feel like, it's not really a legit Heisman run because he's not having to carry his team and win all these games? Because Ohio State, they can just run the ball almost every single play. The throwing lanes are wide, and I'm talking about wide open. In previous years, it hasn't been that way because other teams know they're going to not run the ball, my apologies, but throw the ball. But now that you got a good run and pass balance, good luck. And that's all I have to say. Good luck. What you saw happen against Michigan is going to happen in this game. It's pick your poison. If you don't know what I'm referring to, Michigan couldn't stack the box because you can't guard Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate one-on-one. Julian Sayin and Brian Hartline were great at identifying the coverage and went, okay, there's only 4 to 5 in the box. We're going to run it up the middle. And this year, in previous years it didn't happen, but this year Ohio State and Bo Jackson was getting 6, 7, 8 yards per pop. And when you can average 5 yards per carry, the defense is like, well, dang, we got to put more guys in there. So what happened then? You know what I'm about to say next. One-on-one with Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. It's GG's from that point on. To dumb this down, I don't try to get all too nerdy and break down the film because I know most of you don't care about all of that. When Michigan tried to stop the run, the passing game opened. And when they was like, all right, we can't cover these guys one-on-one, the running lane's open. Same thing's going to happen in this game. Same thing. So, Matt, are you trying to tell me the only way Indiana can slow down or stop this Ohio State offense is if Ohio State stops themselves? Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. I'm glad you're catching along here. The only team that can beat Ohio State in this game is Ohio State. If you're sitting there going, Matt, no, you're overhyping them. I think Indiana can pull off the upset. Well, like I say, put your money where your mouth is. And the good news, if you want to pick Indiana in this game, on Kalshi, if you put $100 in, Indiana wins, you win $265. If you're extremely confident in Ohio State, don't blame you. They're trading at, you put in $100, the payout's $150. You probably notice the odds aren't as great, but that's because they're supposed to win the game. Let me know in the comment section who you're rocking with in this game, but I gotta go with Big Bro State. Give me Ohio State. We'll say 31 for the Buckeyes. Indiana, 20. 31-20, mark it down. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below, but